We acknowledge that Tri-Cities Community Television operates on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nation. We thank the Coquitlam who continue to live on these lands and care for them along with the waters and all that is above and below.
Hello, welcome to Tri-Cities Community TV. My name's Hazel Postmer, and today I'm here with Glynis Karpinski, the Vice President of the Dogwood Society Gardening Club, and we're going to be talking about waking up the garden. So what does that actually mean, Glynis? What's waking up the garden?
Well, I use a style of gardening where I don't clean up in the fall. So as all my perennials are dying off and the seed heads are there, I leave them the way they are over the winter, and then that provides shelter for bugs and insects, and the seed heads provide food for the birds. And then there's also shelter for other larger animals. So over the winter, the garden looks pretty messy. Yes. And in the springtime, when I start to see the insects starting to fly around, then I know it's time to go out and start to wake up the garden. So I'll start the cleanup, cutting back all the perennials, and maybe lifting some of the leaf litter that has covered some of the plants. I tend to leave the leaves on the soil all summer because that provides good mulch and it keeps the moisture in, and then the leaf breaks down, and then that adds an amendment to the soil. So that's what I mean by when I say I'm waking up the garden.
I can see that it must be a bit difficult for you because you're known as the impatient gardener.
Yes.
And it's just a little messy over the winter.
Yeah, I can't stand it. But it's very beneficial for pollinators and all the microbes that are in the soil, and food for the birds. So I do leave it as much as I want to get out there and clean it. I like that look of a pristine garden that is, nice, rich soil. And now I'm dealing with leaf litter all over it, but that's better for my garden. And the plants do better in the long run because as the leaves break down, they enrich the soil, which feeds the plants, and so your plants are stronger. So.
Right. On the leaves, I have a question. We've got rhododendrons, and I'm noticing those leaves don't seem to break down.
They're very, very tough. They would take a long, long time. So with those ones, I would leave them until the spring, and then I would just clean them up.
That's good. That's definitely what I'll do. So now when we're talking about the spring, and we've got things cleaned up, and the new plants are waking up, what are we supposed to do about the soil?
I like to do some top dressing and some mulching in the spring. So one of the things that I've just learned about for feeding the soil, and if you look after the soil will look after your plants. So you want nice, rich soil with lots of compost in it, which is really lovely if you've got a compost. You can spread the compost all around your plants. I've started to use this, which is alfalfa pellets, which is actually horse food.
Oh, I was going to say
rabbit food. And this is really wonderful in the vegetable gardens because it's an animal food. It's organic. It's free of pesticides, free of herbicides, and it's food for the animals. So you put it in your soil on top and just let it break down. It also provides nutrients and basically compost, and they've discovered that it really enriches the microbiome that's in the soil. So your mycorrhizal fungus that connect all the plants and form a network and around the roots to help that transfer of nutrients between the plant and the soil. So very, very, very good for your vegetables, perennials, anything in the garden.
Is it expensive?
No, not compared to some of the other fertilizers that are organic. I can get a 40-pound bag for under $25. So that will do a lot of the garden. Really good for roses as well.
So do you just sprinkle this on after you've planted, or as you're turning the soil and getting it ready prior to planting?
I don't turn the soil at all anymore. We just
What?
Yes.
Isn't that sacrilegious? Aren't you supposed to be digging and raking at this time of year?
You can take off some of the leaf litter that may be on top of plants, but you leave the leaves that are around the plants. But yeah, no more digging and turning over the soil. They've found what that does is just it breaks up the mycorrhizal fungi that are in the soil, which you want to have it intact, and it doesn't disrupt the microbes. So no, you don't dig the soil over anymore. You sprinkle on top. You let the rain and the sun break down all your compost, and they will filter down into the soil naturally where the roots can get them.
Right. So if you're having like topsoil, you just leave it literally on top and don't dig it in. Oh, people
Correct.
will be very pleased to hear
Oh, I
that.
know. Yes, absolutely. Much less work. So
My final question is, how do you keep the weeds at bay? Do you have a quick solution for that?
mulch, mulch, mulch. So that can be anything from compost, leaf litter, the bark mulch that people do. So that's very helpful to keep the weeds down. And the leaf litter is great because there's so many trees here. If you collect your leaves in the fall and put them in an area and let them break down a bit, that's wonderful to spread on. There's another technique that gardeners are using now called chop and drop. So when you do cut your old perennials, you just let them drop and fall on the soil and just leave them. And as the perennials and other plants grow up, they'll cover all that messy leaf litter. So your soil then has the advantage of holding more moisture. So it helps it go through those hot spells, and then it's also feeding the soil.
Wow. So really, this is a less work type of gardening too, because you're not continually digging, raking, removing stuff, cutting.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. Now I know how to wake up my garden.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Glynis.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for watching Tri-Cities Community TV, and we hope you'll tune in again when I'm next chatting to Glynis Karpinski. Thank you.